Last month at the age of 22 years old, I made $106,000, and that is just on this one payment processor. So I took home about $102,000 profit last month. Now, I'm not saying that's a flex or brag. I'm literally making this video just to number one, track the journey and also help people who are at step 0 get to step 1. So a lot of you guys are gonna watch videos like this online and try to replicate these people, okay? You're gonna try to make your first 50K, 100K month without doing the actual first steps that you need to do to get to that first 10K month, 20K month, 30K month to incrementally go up to that 100K month. Like I say in every single video, I'm making this video to not only inspire you guys, but also give you a sort of blueprint on how to get your first couple wins and how to start making 5 to 10K a month online to eventually get up to those $50, $100, $200,000 months. Now, if you're watching this video and you've never made money online, or you've made a little bit of money online, but nothing consistent, that's who this video is for. Like I say in all my videos, I'm brand new to this stuff with you guys as well. I was working at a restaurant 13 months ago, so I'm in no position to say I'm some entrepreneur expert, some business expert. I had barely tried online business before getting into the business model I'm gonna kind of explain to you guys. But the biggest thing is just picking a vehicle that actually works and isn't just some guru vehicle that people talk about online. Like if you're trying to get into crypto meme coins and make $1 million in a month, it's possible, it's happened in the history of the world, but chances are to the average everyday 9-to-5 person, it's just not gonna work, right? Picking a vehicle is the most important thing. So I'm gonna give you guys kind of a blueprint on what you can do if you are brand new into online money and how to get your first couple $1,000s a month consistently to get enough motivation to prove that it's real and do it full time. So as you guys probably know, when I first started an online business, I had no experience in business, entrepreneurship, nothing, no skills at all. The first business model I started with was appointment setting. Appointment setting is essentially becoming a sales rep on behalf of an influencer, whether it's a fitness guru, a course selling guru, somebody online, and becoming a sales rep for them and closing their leads that are interested in what they do. How you guys can get on these job positions is simple. You can do cold outreach. You can reach out to these influencers saying, hey, I'd love to become a sales rep on your team. I've done XYZ in the past. This is why you should hire me. And basically just sell yourself to the influencer. I have a free high ticket sales Discord that you guys can join with a bunch of outreach guides, how you can effectively reach these influencers. Or if you have a little bit of money to spend, you can literally join our software. So that is software. So we have hundreds and hundreds of influencers that need high ticket sales reps that you literally can just apply for. Fairly simple, so you guys can do that, or you can just do cold outreach and try to find an influencer on your own. I tracked my entire journey on Twitter. I'll put some screenshots here. And my whole goal from when I started doing online business wasn't to hit $100,000 a month. It was to hit like a $7, $8, maybe even $10,000 a month if I was lucky, because that's all I needed to live. I wasn't trying to get stupid rich off of this stuff. I was literally just trying to not have to clock in my job every single day. That was my goal personally. And over time, I ended up realizing how much money there was in this industry, and now here I am today. But screw that. Step number one, what you need to do is replace your 9-to-5 income. You should be thinking about nothing except replacing your income. You shouldn't be listening to these guys that are buying fucking Lamborghinis online, this and that, because they're a little bit too far ahead of you. You need to first make like $2,000 to $4,000 a month consistently so you can pay your rent and actually fully dive in on online business. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So for the first about 90 days that you're trying to get an online business, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you start as an appointment setter, okay? Do all the research you can about appointment setting. I literally have videos on how exactly you can get into appointment setting on this channel, super long form videos, like 30-minute videos. If you guys wanna watch those as well, check them out on my channel. I also have a free community that teaches what appointment setting is, give you guys appointment setting scripts, and teaches you guys how to land your first offer as an appointment setter. There's so many influencers out there that are posting fitness content, business content. You guys see them pop up on your For You page every day, but they don't have time to contact all the people that wanna buy their program, so they hire people like me and you to do that. So you basically just type to all the people in their DMs on Instagram, sell them into the program, and you get a commission. Okay, you're not gonna get stupid rich off of this. You get a small percentage, a small commission, but it will replace your 9-to-5 income. I personally was able to replace my 9-to-5 income as a server. After about 45 days of doing this, I made about $3.5 to $4 grand my first month, which honestly was pretty risky to quit my 9-to-5, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I quit my 9-to-5 and just did this full time. So once you become an appointment setter for about, I would say anywhere from 60 to 90 days, and you become a super talented appointment setter, you understand the process in and out, what you can do is move to closer, okay? Closer is a higher level position where you basically are face-to-face, you're doing Zoom calls and actually collecting the payment of the leads that want to buy whatever program the influencer is promoting. Closer is a higher level position. It takes a lot more skill and it's a lot more stressful, but closing is the vehicle where you can start to cap out your commissions at anywhere up to $35,000 a month. That is what I capped out at. I think my highest month ever as a closer was about $38,000 in pure commissions. Like I said, I tracked my entire journey on this channel, so you guys can look at that as well. So once you become a closer and you start to really understand the online business, you start to understand the lead flow, the marketing, the type of leads that are coming in, how the influencer is actually doing fulfillment, you start to generally get a basis of the entire online business world as a whole. You start to see how these guys are buying Lamborghinis. You start to see how much money is really involved with it and how the whole system works, how the business runs. everything about it, the marketing, the sales process, fulfillment. So number one tip is whatever you're doing when you start to become a sales rep for these influencers, you are observant. You're looking at the funnel structure. You're looking at what these influencers are doing, how they're marketing themselves on social media, how they're bringing in leads. Just be observant of the entire process. So later down the line, you have enough leverage and knowledge to actually help influencers like this grow. So once you sort of understand this whole online business as a whole, what I recommend you guys do, there's a few different options you can do. So you started as an appointment setter, you moved up to closer, and you consistently are starting to get commission checks. What you're gonna wanna do is be observant enough to find an issue within whatever business you're working. This is a midterm thing, right? So in the past year, I've been able to go from 0 to 100K because I did it meticulously, right? I didn't try to skip any steps. I didn't try to do too much when I wasn't ready for it. I learned the skill set of appointment setting for about 90 days. I really gave an effort. I looked at what the top performers were doing and I replicated it so I understood the process. After those 90 days, I moved up to closer because I put in the effort. I learned the skill sets of closing. I invested in myself. I learned from someone who I wanted to be like, and I trained to be a good closer. Once I was closing, I closed for about 6 to 7 months. I was a closer full time and still technically am up to this day. My first month as a closer, I made about 8.5 grand. My second month, I did about 12. My third month, I did about 15. And like I said, I tracked my entire journey. You guys can literally go look at my results. And I started to network with people. I was always curious. I was asking questions. I was seeing how the influencer I was working for was bringing in leads. I met the influencers in real life, so I had a connection with them. You have to use your resources correctly to get your way to the top. Once you network your way, you build your skill set, and you're making these influencers so much money that they have no choice but to keep you around, then you're in a really good position. Then you start to have leverage at the point where you can give them advice on what you think they can do better because you, the person as a sales rep, are valuable. Reason being is because you are talking to the influencer's audience on a day-to-day basis, which the influencer isn't technically doing, right? So you know the audience of this influencer better than the influencer himself. So what that basically means is you can start to give input on the influencer's marketing. You could be like, hey dude, I've been getting a lot of 25-year-old guys that work in car sales to buy your course. I've been seeing a lot of 30-year-old overweight guys that want to buy your fitness course. So you should start to target them with your videos. You can do stuff like that to start to gain leverage and prove to the influencer and the business owner that you actually know what you're talking about and you can help them make more money. If you do this correctly, one of two things is going to happen. You can either go to the sales management side where you can start to get off calls full time and you can just start to train the sales reps and help them staff better sales reps that were similar to you, which is what I mainly do now, which is why I have so many offers within my softwares. I manage and work with a lot of these influencers so I can help people get hired. I can train them up. I can help these influencers staff because I know what to look for. So that's a super valuable skill. And that skill set only would have came because I actually did the steps correctly. I was an appointment setter, so I know how they operate. I was a closer, so I know how they operate. I was in management, so I know how to manage correctly. You can't really skip steps. Or what you can do is you can basically replicate the business that you were starting, okay? So let's just say you were a high ticket closer for a lead gen business, okay? You can kind of see what they did, you can see how they marketed, and you can start your own lead gen business for a different niche, for something like that, because you know how the business operates. So it really depends on who you are as a person and what sort of personality you have. If you want to have your own thing and start your own thing, you can do that. If you want to work under the influencer and get a rev share, you can do that. But the amount of money you can make is solely based on the skill sets you have that directly make the influencer more money. So if you have an appointment setter, you make the least amount of money because your skill set is the least valuable, right? All you're doing is basically qualifying people, making sure they have money and booking them calls for the closer. The closer is a bit more skilled and he actually collects the payment so he gets a little bit more money. The management is a lot more important because they actually staff the people that are making money. So there's ways to leverage yourself, and that's the biggest thing, is understanding that the more leverage you can have and the more skill sets you can gain over time, if you're super observant on what these influencers do, you can make the most amount of money. And then obviously the highest leverage thing is the person that's owning the business, bringing in the leads and selling the products. But to do that is you have to have a general understanding of the whole process. You have to understand how setters work, closers, management, how to build websites, how to get high converting websites, how to run ads correctly. You need to know everything from A to Z, which is why a lot of people start to get into online business and they think, oh, I'm gonna start an e-commerce store, I'm gonna drop my own course, but they haven't gone through the whole 9 yards yet. That doesn't mean you have to do it for years and years. It just means that you have to be observant and do the positions enough to where you actually understand it as a person, right? I know some appointment setters that have been appointment setting for 2 years, but they just were never observant enough to look at what the closers were doing, look at what the management was actually doing to make money, so they just stayed in the same spot. If you're an observant and actually ambitious person, you can move up very quickly because you're looking at why these positions are what they are and why they're getting paid the amount of money they're getting paid. So this can go for any business. This doesn't have to be info products like the business I was working in. So I obviously was a high ticket closer for info products, which is what I'm kind of talking about. You can do this for other stuff. You can do this for softwares. There's a bunch of AI softwares that are coming out basically helping people make better content. You can be a sales rep for anything, and as long as you're observant and work your way up through the process, you can end up becoming a sales manager so you can make money staffing reps and just get get a percentage of what those reps that you hired make, or you can start your own business replicating whatever you were. This is gonna be the play that gets you from that 30, 40K a month as a closer to 100, 200, 300K a month and pretty much unlimited income, because at this point, you're no longer tied to time, right? So a lot of people that talk about high ticket sales, they think that you can make 100, 200K a month as a high ticket sales rep, but you just physically can't, right? I mean, technically you can if you were selling like $50,000 packages, but most people aren't doing that, right? High ticket sales is awesome. It is a great vehicle to quit your 9 to 5 and give yourself more freedom and more time to work on online business. But at the end of the day, it is tied to your time, right? So you're dialing leads, you're calling people, you're doing something that's tied to your time. So the only reason you should do that is to make enough income to quit your 9 to 5, save a little bit of money in your bank account so that you can take those risks such as sales management or doing something in the future. So this is the raw, authentic truth of it. Think about it, all the guys that you see online selling high ticket sales, courses, products, talking about high ticket sales aren't actually fully doing it full time. They're either doing management on the side, they're either selling their training on the side, they're doing something. So I just wanna make these videos to authentically tell you guys how you can move up the ladder and actually build a blueprint for yourself to be where you wanna be in the next year, 2 years. Because at the end of the day, appointment setting, appointment closing is awesome. It's a great way to start, but 3 years down the line, I'm sure you don't wanna be a 35, 40-year-old guy hopping on the phone with people selling fitness mentorships, right? No one wants to actually do that. So to be able to move up the ladder correctly and actually have a vision for yourself on what you wanna do and just see it down the line, I think is super important. And no one really taught me this when I was first coming up. I just thought I was gonna be a closer forever because I was making good money. But I realized that there's certain vehicles and certain ways that you can go about it to make more money and leverage yourself better. Just use this as motivation. Just understand that somewhere out there, there's a sales manager running an offer that is less talented than you, less well-spoken than you, and just less qualified to be in that position. Online business is a fairly new thing, so a lot of people don't know what they're doing correctly. So if you can come in, be observant, and actually just use your brain the right way to see that. As a sales rep, as someone that talks to all the leads and stuff, I feel like if you marketed this better, it would work better. If you ran ads targeting these people, we would get more sales. If you can become that person, you're in a lot better position than the guy who just sits there, just closes deals every single day and just shuts up about it. So hopefully this gave you guys a breakdown how you can actually create a blueprint for yourself to go from quitting your 9 to 5 to making a disgusting amount of money in the future. If you guys want to get into high ticket sales, which is the #1 vehicle to start and quit your 9 to 5 and do online business full time, I have a full training and placement program where we guarantee you a job offer of one of the offers that we're managing. So it's in our best interest to put you on an offer because we're managing it. If you are willing to work on US-based hours, you are somewhat well-spoken, and you are willing to work your ass off day in and night to quit your 9 to 5 and make anywhere from like 5 to 12K a month consistently, click the second link in our bio for our placement program. We'll hop on a call, we'll qualify you to see if you're even a good fit in the first place. We'll get you high ticket closing or setting to get you out of your 9 to 5. I'm currently working on a video. We've helped over 350 students quit their 9 to 5 and do this full time. So we know exactly what we're looking for and exactly how to do it step by step. So if you guys are interested, click that button. But other than that, I make these videos to inspire you guys and just show you that it's possible. I'm no different than any person watching this video. Like I said, I was literally putting the fries in the bag like 13 months ago. So if I can do it, there's no reason you can't. Just be observant, get in the right vehicle. Don't fall for all the gurus telling you you're gonna get rich off day trading in a year. Pick a good vehicle, see people in a position that you wanna be in, see someone that you actually trust and is in a position that you wanna be in, pay them for their time, look at what they do, just be observant and stop listening to what the gurus say and start doing what they do. That's how you're really gonna be successful. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully someone got inspired. If you did, like, subscribe, and comment. All I do is talk about high ticket remote sales and quitting your 9 to 5 on this channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.